Well, I want to talk a little bit about the promises of God. And no matter where you go, you'll find someone saying something about all the promises that God has given us in the Bible. And God has made some promises. But most of the promises that they talk about aren't really promises. And they really abuse the word promise and they ignore the meaning of what the Bible is actually telling us. And things are typically not as simple as we make them out to be because we want a certain outcome and because we want a certain message. Well, we can kind of shorten things and ignore details that really make a difference. It reminds me of a story I heard about a Amish man, and he was run off the road by a semi. He was driving his buggy and had his horse pulling it, and he had his cow behind him and dog with him, and it tumped him over. And he was in court because he wanted to get his medical expenses paid. And the lawyer asked him, he said, well, did you not tell the police officer at the scene that you were okay? And he said, well, it's not that simple. He said, it is that simple. Did you or did you not jump up and say, I'm okay? He said, it's not that simple. He said, sir, it's a very simple question. Did you or did you not jump up and say that you were okay? And finally, the man looked at the judge. He says, Judge, it's not that simple. Can you just let me explain? He said, when the police officer came up, I heard him walk up to my cow. And I heard him say, well, are you okay? Can you get up? And when he saw that my cow couldn't get up, well, he shot it. And then he came up upon my dog and he said, well, are you okay? Can you get up? And when he saw, well, the dog couldn't get up, well, he shot it. And so then he came up to my horse. He said, are you okay? Can you get up? And when he saw he couldn't get up, well, he shot it. So, Your Honor, when he came up to me and said, are you okay? Can you get up? I jumped up and said, I'm fine. And, see, things are not that simple. We want to ignore particulars of the verse that make a difference in the meaning. And if I could give you some advice, well, when you read something that says, here's a promise of God, well, I want you to take that and switch it from a promise to a truth about God. And so, if it's got a downpour of rain outside and you go outside, I can say, listen, if you go outside, you're going to get wet. Now that's not a promise. I just know that if you go outside, it's raining, that's going to be the effect. And the Bible gives us truths about God, things about his nature and how he deals with us. And so when you read things that we take as promises, well, those things may be available to us. We might be able to truly gain that benefit in our life, but there's a truth there that we have to draw nigh unto God. We have to learn God. And if we apply what it's teaching us, well, that's a natural recourse. And so a good example is Isaiah 26:3, thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Well, you'll see that listed as a promise of God. Well, is it a promise or is it just a statement? That it's a statement that's saying that if you keep your mind on God and stayed on God, so every time there's a problem, who's the first person you go to? It's God. Every time you have a decision to make, who's the first person you seek advice from and counsel from? It's God. And you will learn as you go through life that when you go to God, well, he's a very real and present help in time of need, in that it's not just an exercise in keeping your mind on God. It's the fact that you trust him. And as you trust him, well, you learn that, well, he's gracious, he's good, and he's faithful. And he'll take care of you. But that's something that comes because of who God is. And the key is to learn about God and how to walk a life worthy of God. And so when you read these promises, you need to, one, see the setting that the promise was really made and who it was said to, and then look for the truth. What is it saying to you in your life? What would I have to do to gain that benefit in my life? And it'll get you a little bit better on that straight and narrow. Because things are not always as simple as they seem. So, just something to think about. Take care and God bless.